Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to take a second to talk about one of my favorite brands right now. You guys know I don't give bad recommendations, so I really want to introduce you guys to my friends over at Bright. They are an anal bleaching company, but their products work head to toe. They do in treatments as well as take home products that literally show instant results. Guys, I did not believe it myself until I went to a show and they did a trial on my hand. And I'm not kidding. My hand was lighter within 2 to 3 minutes. Swear. The company is not only women owned, but the really cool thing about this product is that it is all natural ingredients and can be used on all Fitzpatricks. So if you are an esthetician that's looking to add something to your space that not only helps to lighten your skin, but makes you crazy money, their treatments roughly cost $3.40 for you to use, but you can charge anywhere from $50 to $290 per treatment, which is like an insane ROI. So I could not keep this to myself. I love the brand. I love what they stand for. And what's really cool is that they're fans of the podcast. So they gave me a code exclusively for you guys. And they told me before they gave it to me, they do not give codes out. So I felt really special. So you can save 10% on the link below using the code TWP, which obviously stands for the Waxing Podcast. I am so excited to introduce you to the brand, and I am excited to welcome you to the Bright family. Hey everybody, welcome to the Waxing Podcast. My name is Kirsten. As always, if it's your first time here, you better get out now. No, okay, just kidding. That was stupid. If it's your first time here, welcome. I am so happy that you are listening to the Waxing Podcast. However you got here, I am thankful for. And if you are somebody who is joining the multiple episodes that I've shared thus far to this point, thank you. I love you so much. I love this platform so much. It makes me feel really, really connected to you as friends. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for tuning in. I've been alive and well on this podcast since 2020. So if you're new here, please go check out some other episodes to catch you up to today's episode. So I'm really excited because today's episode is near and dear to my heart. And it is a podcast about the launch that just happened. So for all of you that don't know, I have been working on a project for 2 years. It is something that I have not really talked about because it's been a limited discussion to give away any details. And so I have really, truly been sitting here in straight anticipation for 2 years to be able to share this. And I finally have. It went live yesterday. And it's funny because now I say Enso, it like comes now, but I just launched a brand called Enso Wax. It is really exciting. You can check it out on ensowax.com. And Enso just came out with its first product, which is the Enso Duo. So Enso Duo is a first of its kind wax warmer. There's incredible features to this wax warmer. It was really important to me as I developed a new product to make it something that was going to make a difference in the industry. So just to give you a backstory on Enso and how it came about. So for the last 9 or 10 days on my social media, I've been giving away snippets of like how we got here in terms of like story time is what I've been calling it, really what the heck made me want to start a brand. and so was really, to sum it down, born out of really wanting something more in our industry. I feel like it's one of those industries that have been around for so long, but the people that create the brands are just not in it like we are. Or, I mean, at least, I don't know. I had this thought of like, why is our wax warmers not better? Why is the thing that we use the most not better? There is a like dinosaur aged wax warmer sitting on every single person's counter. And it's what they need to complete a service, yet it's not innovative. It hasn't been turned into a feature that makes sense for the 2023 version of us estheticians. And so when I would look around and I would Google and, I would look outside of the US and I'm like, this has to be somewhere, right? So I'll get into the this has to be somewhere feature in a second, but I'm like, this has to be somewhere. Someone has thought about this. No way. And it hadn't. And it was one of those moments that I thought to myself, like, I don't know if this will ever come to fruition unless I do it myself. And so I scraped, and I'm not even trying to be dramatic, I scraped every freaking resource and penny that I had and created Enso for the last 2 years. And so one of the very special things and why we're calling it first of its kind is because it truly is. It is the first ever self-stirring wax warmer. And what's really cool, like I said, that feature that I looked around and I said to myself, how has nobody thought of this? Self-stirring is absolutely crucial in our industry. I know firsthand what it feels like to have a huge stick sitting into our wax warmer that we either have to throw away all the time or we have to manually stir. And we are constantly stirring because we want to make sure our wax is at a great consistency for the safety of our clients. And so this being the first ever self-stirring wax warmer creates a space for you and your clients to be safe and for your hand to not catch carpal tunnel. This wax warmer not only has the self-stirring, which is just such an incredible patent pending feature, but we also utilize copper. So not only is copper beautiful and elevated and there to make your space look and feel how it should. I know firsthand what it feels like to create a space that's all yours, all decored the way you want it to be, as elevated as you want it to look. And I wanted to have a feature on the warmer that did that. But not only does copper elevate your space and elevate the warmer, but it's actually functioning as a tool as well. So not only is it beautiful, but it's acting as an antimicrobial. So in 2008, there was a study that showed that antimicrobial, that copper is and was the first metal of its kind to produce natural antimicrobial features. And as an esthetician, hearing the word antimicrobial just sounds good. It sounds sexy. That's what we heard about all of our lives in esthetician school. So to be able to bring that on a wax warmer, especially in an industry like ours where sanitation is so important, just makes me so happy. Not only is this a antimicrobial, but it also is a great heat conductor. And so what that means for you and your business is that with it acting as a great heat conductor, you'll be safe knowing that your wax will stay warmer for longer and the consistency within the vessel itself is very consistent. And so that was a really great feature added for, not only beautiful, I almost said beautifulness, which is not a word, not only for aesthetic, but also functionality. Another really cool feature, which is where you kind of get into the point where you're like, all right, this was created by an esthetician, somebody who literally works day in and day out in the treatment studio, because there's no freaking way that people would think of like this feature. But I came out with, they're the lid holders that go in the back of the wax warmer. So we designed these so that you have a place to put your lids. It was really important to me that this wax warmer had this feature because I know how annoying it is to put your lids on the side of the table. I have so much stuff going on my treatment space that the lids being in my way are the last thing that I want. So having these designed in the back to perfectly fit the lids was a really, really fun and functional way to add some space to you and your business. And then also we have concaved lid, or not lid, but concave side holders. So a lot of the times too, these wax warmers will have wooden handles or plastic handles, but I wanted to get rid of the handles. Again, we need that spot to place other things. We need that space. So we had them concaved, meaning that you can put your hands in and grab the wax warmer using an internal handle. There are so many features on here. It's kind of like insane when I break it all down. Another feature is the wax. Okay, so when you go onto the ensowax.com website, you'll be able to visually see this. I'm going to get into all of the features and everything like that. And I'm over here like, oh my gosh, there's so many that it's like in my head, I'm making sure that I get them all. So just to talk a little bit about the self-stirring. So how it's self-stirred is by using a custom-made copper stick that we had made by the product developers. And this is what's going to lay inside of your wax warmer and cause aggravation to the wax, which is a term that I just recently found out. So when the wax is being turned, it is called aggregation. So that is what we are doing to the internal vessel, making sure that you have perfectly consistent wax. And so we have the copper sticks for that, which are beautiful, again, antimicrobial. So I really like it because as soon as you take your hand take your hand off, it starts to self clean just by the property that it is. A really cool feature too is whether you are in a busy day, your lids are off and you have been working, or you take a very self-needed, lunch break for an hour, we have these custom lid slits that allow you to put the lid on while the copper stick is in there. That way you can continuously keep spinning it even when you're out. And so that's a really cool feature. And we wanted to make sure that we had both options, whether you have your pot open or your warmer shut. And then you have your temperature controls. And so we have this is the Duo warmer. So we have two sides and we have the temperature controlling for each one. So whether you are a soft wax or hard waxer, maybe you have different temperatures for different reasons, like you're a hard waxer and you're using body waxing on one side of your copper vessel, and on the other copper vessel you are doing it for face, it may need a little bit higher or lower temperature. We have that option. And then in the middle you will see the rotation where you actually turn on the rotation. A really fun I keep saying a really fun, but they're all fun, but they're all fun. Another beautiful and aesthetic, but also functional, because again, I wanted everything to be very beautiful, aesthetic. I wanted it to flow really nicely in people's rooms, but I also didn't just want to do aesthetic, right? I wanted it to be functional. So one of the things that you'll notice is that this is a custom design to the wax warmer. This was something that has been developed for over 2 years. No one else has this. This has been the design out of this noggin of yours onto the piece of paper. So you'll notice that one side of the wax warmer is elevated and higher than the other. Not only is that for the reason of, the brand Enso and what it means. It means imperfection, but creating something beautiful. It means, so many beautiful things. I love the brand name. It also is a direct guidance for you to remember what waxes where. So you can always put your soft wax in the higher up one, and then you can put your hard wax in the lower, and you have that brain to warmer connection. So again, really replacing a lot of wax warmers with all of these new functional features. And then right now we are pre-launching on ensowax.com. So this is really cool and a really great way for you to be a part of something special, something esthetician owned. This is like a true bootstrapped project. I have gone as far as I can go, and full transparency, I have, put in my heart, my soul, and my finances into this. And so pre-ordering is what is necessary in order to get to the next step. We are excited to roll it out, and I hope you guys are excited to, have an Enso Duo in your studio space. So one of the really cool things about pre-ordering right now is you're actually going to save the most money that anyone will ever save on an Enso warmer. So we are selling it for $435. And then once it comes out live, it's going to be MSRP'd for $550. Another cool incentive that we're doing for pre-launch is that if you order one Enso Duo, you will get a free custom tote bag and be really a part of the merch family at the Enso team. And you will also, if you order 2 Enso warmers, you will get a tote, and then you will also get a custom Enso copper water bottle. These are very limited edition, and I'm so excited. These are my personal favorites. And if you order 3 or more Enso Duos, you not only get the tote, the copper water bottle, but we are also taking another $25 off each warmer, saving you the ultimate amount on your product. And man, We've come a long way, guys. I really wanted to film this podcast in the closet today because I really wanted to feel really nostalgic to the moment that I created the podcast and where this all came from. Like, I can't believe we're 3 years later in, and I am about to launch a brand. And when I say that I am a true definition of an accidental CEO, like, I can't get over that I'm here right now. But again, I feel so responsible to leave the waxing industry better than I found it. And I cannot stress that enough. That is my end goal here. I really, really want to help estheticians in every single which way that I can. And having this idea just staying in my head and not going anywhere was not going to cut it for me and my life that I envisioned. I really wanted to see it come to life. So thank you so much for hanging out with me all of these years in the closet, out of the closet, with guests. I will forever be grateful for this podcast. And I, promise not to make this podcast an Enso podcast. Okay. This podcast will still be about free education and bringing people on and all of that stuff. And I never want that to change. I just wanted to dedicate an episode to Enso because it's been a long time coming if you're a Taylor Swift fan. And I feel like it needed its moment. So Enso was truly created out of the love of this industry. And I'm so excited for you to see more information on it. You can head to ensowax.com. And if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Enso has an Instagram page, Enso Wax, as well as like a TikTok and email, ensowax@gmail.com. And we also have some frequently asked questions you can check out on the website. There's questions like, will this really help me in my business? Can you use both hard and soft wax? And there's many more. So please go check them out. And as always, thank you for listening. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.